Ukraine border is such a fucking sacred line that cannot be crossed, but then their own border at home, we see the biggest fucking influx, and we spoke about this in the Patreon.
Oh, the Americans,
the border crisis at the southern border is hilarious in certain ways when they ship them off to their own fucking what's that little
Martha's Vineyard,
which was hilarious to see the reaction. But this is what I spoke about on the Patreon, and I want to talk about it again because I think it's pretty
relevant.
Pretty relevant. We see the people who have been coming across the border for the last 10, 15 years out of desperation and really they're fleeing a fucking either war-torn country, drug cartels, fucking poverty, whatever. They're desperate to get out of their country over the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years, seeking a new life. Just fucking so grateful for the opportunity to get to a country like America and be there. Now we're seeing the borders are just open. They're just fucking an open thing. There's no vetting. You can just cross and get in no matter what. You're going to get paid when you get here. This isn't a thing where we have desperate people anymore. We have people, they're now complaining about the conditions of the hotels that they're staying in. They're being paid and they're getting free accommodation in $300 a night hotels. If you are that desperate and fleeing, poverty or war-torn countries or drug cartels or fucking...
You're just grateful to be there.
Just grateful to be there. So what we're seeing is that, and it's diluting the real problem because there are real people who have real fucking issues with poverty and fucking those sorts of issues that I just said. So and we're seeing this in a lot of different fucking issues around the world at the moment, but you're diluting the very real problem by fucking just opening it up to everyone.
Can you imagine the TripAdvisor? Yeah. Fucking, this hotel had a bed and running water.
Yeah.
And nobody was trying to kill me.
Yeah.
1 star, I had a better in Mexico.
And so you see that, and they're wearing, pretty reasonably nice clothes, and it's not like these people are seeking refuge out of desperation anymore. They're seeking refuge because they know they can come here, go to America and get paid.
Who would have thought Donald Trump knew what he was doing?
Well, it's funny, man, that whole immigration debate, because I remember when I was at uni, and that was the hot button political issue.
Mrs. Hanson, was it big?
And boat people and all that. I remember.
Do we still have boat people?
No.
I never hear a peep anymore.
Look, this is what no one wants to admit, right? That the Operation Sovereign Borders and that, it's a deterrent, right? Because if you come to Australia by boat, we'll lock you up indefinitely at Manus Island, right? I remember when the gays are talking about, I thought human rights to get married, and now they've stopped talking about human rights. Cucks. But anyway, I digress.
Yes. I don't think it was just the gays.
Immigration, it was the hot button issue. I remember being at uni doing this ethnic conflict in multiculturalism, and there was these 2 Swedish guys in the class. I remember in the tutorial they were talking about afterwards, it's like, we're an ethnically homogenous country. We've been the same race structure for thousands of years.
Beautiful race structure.
And we had, these left-wing politicians who were very high-minded and had very good intentions, right? This is not, a malicious thing, but they were like, we've opened our doors to people, and then, traditionally we have 2, maybe 3 kids in our country, but we've opened the door to cultures that have 5 and 7 kids. And we're rapidly becoming a minority group in our own country.
You know who they need, Corey?
And they didn't, they don't assimilate, they have ghettos. So it's a very intractable problem, but it wasn't racist for those people to say, we've got an issue with immigration, but they were portrayed as such.
Yeah.
And that's something I've sort of been thinking about a lot lately is that, imagine if that did happen to the Swedes, and that's why there's a very strong right-wing undercurrent in Scandinavia now.
Hey Hard Yarners, hope you liked that clip. If you would like more clips like that, click here. If you want to watch the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, click here. And as always, join the Patreon for more risque content. Let's get hard.